In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was light. That Word, that light, is the source of all creation. As the Word was spoken upon the waters, the seas of the earth began to bring forth life. The Word began to copy itself unceasingly and forever. God's divine plan for creation was that the Word, the sound, light, and vibratory sequences capable of bringing forth life, would be as a coding script, a recipe of instructions for the creation of all forms of life on Earth and in other star systems throughout the galaxy. The Word began to arrange chemicals and make them live. This recipe book of instructions is called the DNA, and the script, the recipe book to create human life, is called the genome. This script of life is written in an alphabet of only 4 letters: A, C, G, and T. These letters represent the nucleic acids adenine, cytosine, guanine, and thymine. They are arranged in 3-letter words called codons. Each word codes for a different amino acid, and these amino acid proteins are the building blocks of all life forms on the Earth. Over a very long time, God's Word transformed the once arid surface of the earth into paradise. Life, plants, sea creatures, birds, animals, and finally man were created and evolved. They thrived or did not survive. They lived or became extinct. A humanoid type of man evolved on Earth and became preeminent among other life forms on this planet. Beings visited Earth from other star systems. Some civilizations flourished, others disappeared. The Earth was young, and the quality of the Word was being tested. Then the God of all creation smiled upon life and allowed souls to take on form in the 12 dimensions of the lower heavenly worlds within our Milky Way galaxy where physical life could exist. For there are many mansion worlds in God's kingdom. To come into physical expression, souls had to enter into physical life through a portal in time and space, the Stargate of Lyra. Lyra is a 12th dimensional star, and it is the birthplace of all souls upon the Earth. Over a long period of time, we have all had physical lifetimes of expression on many star systems, such as Pleiades, Sirius, and Arcturus, before deciding to take birth on Earth. Earth is a school, a place of soul advancement and learning. It is a privilege and an honour to be here, but it is not an easy place to be. Many times we have lost our way and have forgotten that we once came here from the stars. We came to Earth for a reason. We came to bring our light and our love to help the Earth and humanity advance. Earth was a 5th dimensional star called Tara. But because of corruption by angelic beings who turned away from the oneness of God, Earth and her people fell in consciousness and vibration. The humanoid beings on Earth could not evolve. They did not have the genetic capacity to advance or be advanced. Around 100,000 years ago, a decision was made by the Council of Light within this galaxy, the Galactic Council, to create a new, more upgraded species and seed the Earth with the advanced genetic code of a new people of light. They called this new species the human because Hu is a sound that means God. The new human creation was given a 12-strand DNA genetic code, capable of one day moving beyond the Earth plane and existing in all 12 dimensions of the 12 worlds of the lower heavens where physical life can exist. Until now, this genetic code, the Human Genome Recipe Book of the creation of every being on the Earth, was only able to be partially activated while the Earth was vibrating within a third-dimensional, slower pulsating energy domain. Now, with the Earth's shift to the fifth dimension, new energy words are being spoken to advance the human genome and to activate dormant human DNA potential. And God's people of light, the souls who once came to Earth from the stars, are being called together once again. It's time to remember our story and remember why we came to Earth in that time of Earth's new beginning so long ago. Our light is needed now to help the Earth and those upon the Earth create a new society of peace, love, and oneness. An earthly home where everyone is valued and everyone finds peace. When we came as souls into physical life through the Stargate of Lara, we had a vision, a reason for being. It's time now to rekindle that higher vision and higher purpose and remember that together, we are the sunshine at the dawn of a new light-filled age on Earth.
So on the eve of Wesak, we're gathered together here in London to receive. Because as I said earlier, Wesak is the time for the outpouring and gifts and blessings from Spirit, from the spiritual hierarchy. And hierarchy doesn't mean better than. Hierarchy is just a way of explaining beings from many dimensions, because they say that they're the same as us, that we are no different to them. We just happen to have chosen to be here on earth at this time to hold energy, really. And so they say to us now, okay, as we're here to hold energy, they're here to stand beside us and work with us so that our energy might be strengthened. And we might do what we chose and planned to do in this lifetime before we even incarnated, before we were even born. And before we were even born, we sort of knew the script, really. We knew what the big picture of our life was meant to be about. And I'd say to all of us who are watching today and listening, we're pretty far down the road, otherwise you wouldn't even be watching or listening. It's just the tweaking, because what happens is that we identify what we should do in terms of job or money or career or I can't do it or I'm not good enough. But we're doing absolutely everything that we need to do just by being, you see. Just by being in the physical body at this time and anchoring light through the physical vessel, we're actually also doing everything that we really need to do. It's just our human mind that gets in the way and thinks, I need to do this, or I need to have this healing practice, or it's, Spirit always have said to me, life is about being happy. Life should be about being happy. Life should be about connecting with people with love. It's been rather testing here because the technology, the technical things that we wanted to do today haven't actually happened in the way that we had planned and worked very hard to do. So that's a bit of a test, isn't it? And so the next step in this test is, okay, maybe there's a reason for this. I'm going to ask Spirit what it might be. They tell us. Okay, so is there a reason? Yes, there is. What they really want me to demonstrate, and Rich to demonstrate, and all of us to understand, is that life isn't always smooth. It doesn't always work out in the way that we think it's going to work out, does it? But it doesn't really matter, because what they said to me is, right now, when I was out the back, is every body, every soul who is here and listening will get exactly what they need. And it doesn't need to come through the filter of my mental mind or anybody else's mental mind who might have been trying to orchestrate and support this day, and there's been quite a few people. What we think it should be is not always the way it's meant to be, and maybe we need to learn a lesson of just being and trusting, all of us, right? That if we are meant to be doing something, we will do it. As long as we keep walking, and taking action, it will always happen in the perfect way. It might not be the way our conscious mind thinks it should be, and the way we might have planned and written it down and scripted it to be, but it still works in the perfect way, and always will. So to demonstrate this, now, let's bring some energy through from beyond the beyond, because if it works for you, with you in the perfect way, to activate more of your true human potential, then we've succeeded 100%, because that's what we're here to do, okay? Not necessarily have the pretty pictures. So let's do this. these energy words that are going to come through, they're telling me right now, are going to be very different, and they're going to sound very different from anything that they say I've spoken before. So we'll see. I found myself in the last week when I'm sitting in meditation saying shh, 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 like very strange sort of words. And remember that these energy words that I speak are words of new creation. And because we are moving into this new time, this whole accelerated ascension phase that is just beginning in 2019 and will get much stronger in 2020, all the way through, they say, for 13 years to 2033, this is like a massive cycle, a massive ascension downloading, really, to get people, all of us, up to another level of the evolution of the human species. So it's not just going to be for the next 13 years. It's going to be for the next 1,300 years, hundreds of years. But because we are here on the planet, we have to start the ball rolling, you see. And then our children and our children's children, and it will just go like that, exponentially, like the rays of the sun, incidentally. Because the rays of the sun go out and they touch everybody. So this energy that's coming in from beyond the beyond is coming from the heart center of the 22 galaxies. It's coming through the stargate of Aldebaran, which is all about revelation, revealing this more expanded God creation energy. It's streaming into this Milky Way galaxy. And this seems probably a little bit surreal. You know, when I first was told these things by Spirit and asked to speak about them publicly, without any real scientific knowledge about it, which I don't have, I didn't really want to do it because it sounded like, how do I know? I don't. I actually don't. I don't know whether it's true or not. The only yardstick that I've ever had of truth is how I felt and the fact that I can't do this on my own. You see, I can't transmit these energy words, this light language stuff on my own. It doesn't happen like that. You would have seen me jerk like that when the energy starts to flow through. So all I am is a channel, a conduit. I'm not some highfalutin guru. I'm no different to you. I'm a normal duty person who's lived a normal duty life, earning money in the normal duty way, and I'm the same as you. So I think Spirit have done this with me so that it helps all of us understand that I'm no different to you or anybody else on the planet, and we can all do things that we don't even know we can do, providing we just trust and walk forward, you see. And the only thing that really needs to happen is that the energy words of change need to be brought through to activate aspects of our own DNA, to activate change in our chakras and the way the chakras spin, to clear stuck energy. Because we don't even know that we have this stuck energy that we call karmic miasmic patterning, because it's like an unseen, invisible ball and chain that just limits us and sabotages us without us knowing that it's even there, you see. So this energy is coming from beyond the beyond now. It's streaming into this galaxy. It's streaming into, hitting up against the galactic center, moving, like streaming from the galactic center to our solar sun, and then bouncing from the solar sun in solar flares, coronal mass ejection cycles, whack, 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 into the Earth. So every time there's a coronal mass ejection cycle, which is just solar flares coming into Earth, those that are sensitive will be affected by this energy. I'm sure you are, right? It affects our weather, it affects our technology, it affects electromagnetic energy, because it is electromagnetic energy. So are we. We've got physical flesh and blood. We've got physical flesh and blood bodies, but we also have energy fields around us, electromagnetic energy fields. And we are affected by the energies that are streaming to Earth because it's affecting our energy fields. It's affecting my speaking right now, quite obviously. I don't enunciate it properly. Because the energy's preparing me to do something. And I feel it because I've done it for a long time, you see. So it's taught me to discern, to understand what's going on very quickly. And all it really takes to be a channel, a conduit for the energy, is to practice. Because it's that repetition that helps us to understand what we're feeling, what we're doing, what we're sensing, you see. That's all. Everybody's the same. Everybody can do this, really. Just practice. So now, let's bring this energy in. And you can just put your hands palm up. You don't have to do what I'm doing. No, just like this. It's on your lap. I'm just doing something that I'm guided to do. So I'm reaching up here, you see. I'm reaching up to this energy that is streaming into Earth from beyond the beyond. What I'm doing with my hands is automatic. I'm not thinking about it. I'm just doing it. But you see how it's a pyramid? Because the pyramidal form is the vehicle, metaphysically, of transformation in the body. So this energy is coming through a pyramid, little multifaceted, they're saying millions of little pyramids, actually, like little bubbles, effervescent bubbles, coming through the body. I think that's what you're going to feel. Do you feel this? Does it feel like they said it would? Like bubbly? Not really? It's going to get stronger, I think. You know when you shake up a bottle of lemonade, fizzy lemonade, and all the bubbles? Well, this is what's happening to us. It's like the bubbles are like energy. What are you feeling now? Like, does it feel a bit bubbly, a bit effervescent, like waves? Waves of energy. So what these waves of energy are doing is that they are starting to shake things up within us so that we can be activated or coded or recoded, if you like, to express more of our true, innate 12-strand DNA human potential. Because these 12 strands aren't linked up yet. You know, some people might, we talk about the double helix. Some people might have some of these DNA strands linked up energetically, and some may have them operating so that they can do more advanced things than most other people can, because that's what it's all about. But most people have these, like, what were wizened filaments of light in the energy field, which are like the remnants of, or probably the potential more, not the remnants, but the potential of a more expanded DNA human template. Does that make sense? It's like we have all this potential to be, as people, as a species, so much more than we are operating at right now. If you look at, it's like having a Model A car of, say, the 1920s, 30s, and this really modern racing car of today. And we're moving from the old car, which is the physical body, to the new car, or getting as close as we can to that, particularly in the next 13 years. Quite a change. So what has to happen is that we have to get wired up differently to release this karmic miasmic patterning that we've all got locked inside ourselves because of the trauma energies and the experiences we've had living on Earth in many, many lifetimes, or in other places even. And then we have to get rewired so that we can pull this energy, which is going to get stronger and stronger, through our physical vessel, see? So this energy today is beginning to activate the expansion and the recoding, if you like, of the DNA. So you might feel a funny feeling here at the base of the spine. Anybody? Yeah. Because as human people, there's original cells at the base of the spine from when we were in the womb, you see. So the DNA within these cells is activating first. Do this. So what spirits say is that in the next 3 weeks, the proof of the pudding here, which is whether it's actually doing anything or not, the proof of the pudding is whether you all feel subtly different and life suddenly takes a turn to become easier on many levels. Okay? 3 weeks. 3 weeks is 3 times 7. It's a cycle. So there's nothing you really have to do to have this change occur. It's just an energy change that they say, Spirit, will be reflected in your life within 3 weeks. So we'd love to hear about it when it happens. I'd love to hear about it when it happens. Maybe on Facebook or in the library. Because it's what I said earlier about just walking forward in faith and trusting the process. We don't really know what's ahead because where we are right now as humans thinking about life, it's much more than we know right now is coming down the line. So what we have to do is just know that much more than we know is coming down the line, and it doesn't matter if we don't know everything now. But what I'm getting is within 5 years, there'll be many changes, both within us as people and also reflected out there on the earth. And we can see them already happening, can't we? In our world, in our environment, in many countries. You know, there's always, when there's change and it brings up chaos, people get more afraid. There's certain breakdown in social systems to a degree. People are being, we're all human. We're all being affected by these energies. And some people understand it and some people don't. And it doesn't really matter whether you understand it or not. But it is a critical test, if you like, for all human beings, whether they go and stay in the heart and operate through the heart, which is love, or whether they subscribe to fear and operate in a fear-based separatist way. Every human being, every soul is being challenged to either move into love and co-creation or move into the opposite, which is fear, discord, enmity, separation, and like grabbing everything so that we have enough. They have enough. See? And this is what the fifth dimension is all about, really. It's about peace, love, and oneness. So when we get that capacity and we are able to demonstrate it, then our physical bodies are also able to vibrate at the fifth dimensional frequency of peace, love, and oneness. When I was in Dublin a few days ago, we learnt some meditations that I won't teach you tonight, but everybody here, providing you have signed in, pre-registered, or providing you've written your email down very legibly on the sign-in sheets, will get all 4 of these events that we're doing here. Dublin, London, Amsterdam, and Copenhagen, because they're all different, you see. And they all have a different vibration and a different topic or theme. And so you can go back to some of the basic meditations and see whether you know how to do that from the Dublin event. But this event is beginning to recode DNA. So let's move forward with this then. So put your fingertips just here, just on the thymus gland, which is in the upper, it's called the upper heart chakra really, but the thymus gland it's really to do with our immune system. So it's just in the upper chest here, just below the clavicles. So if you just put your fingertips here. It's about life force. It's about life force energy. But it's also the place where we find something called the soul seat, the seat of the soul. And for many of us, if we've had really traumatic, horrible experiences in past life, we can store sadness, grief energy here, you see. So we're going to work to clear the grief energy here. And if you start to cry, don't worry, or if you feel emotional, it's just clearing. It's not putting you into that state, it's releasing that state.
Shlaka sada sabadakodia, akokalaka is the kaz the key. Akokalaka is the sabadaka key. Akalakaz the key. Akadabaka sabadaka sataka. Akalakaz the key. Akalabaka the key. Oglabaka sadabaka key. Akalabaka sadabaka key.
So some of you might have been like a bit challenged in recent months with maybe getting recurrent illnesses, viruses, that sort of thing, or just feeling really below par. That can be because there is a triggering of the clearing of the soul seat here, old sadness from past, and you might feel sad as well, and that's affecting your thymus gland. It's affecting your well-being physically. See? So you become more susceptible to viruses, colds, coughs, illness, that sort of thing. So we need to understand that this is also a process that we're all going through. I had that process happen to me last year, where for several months I really didn't feel very well. I got pneumonia, and I got like a kidney infection called pyelonephritis. I'm perfectly well now. But now I understand that it was because the kidneys to do with fear energy, you see, and life force energy. And I think I was clearing very deep fear from the kidneys, because it relates to the adrenal glands, you see, and the physical vitality of the body. And also I feel that I was also clearing the lungs, taking in the breath of life. See, getting pneumonia. So if you're going through that experience, and mine was about a year ago exactly, then don't be concerned. You're not breaking down. Physical body is not breaking down. It's like breaking through. And to support our physical body, clearing of the stuck energy helps. Walking on the earth helps. Eating as much as possible a plant-based diet helps. Taking spirulina, chlorella, and if you can't stand the taste, put it in a bit of apple juice, like a little bit of apple juice, and a bit of water, and then a tablespoonful of spirulina, tablespoonful of chlorella. Both are really cleansing. The spirulina is very high-grade plant-based protein, and the chlorella will cleanse the physical body. Because what also happens is that when we're releasing all this toxicity from the body's energy fields and from the cells of the body, we can get a bit physically challenged, you see. It puts a pressure on. It's just like having all this toxicity coming out through the physical body, so we need to support our physical body as much as possible to make it easier on ourselves. Just means eating right, basically. Eating right, avoiding wheat, too much wheat, avoiding too much sugar, and understanding that maybe one glass of wine might be enough. Because it will, you see, this toxicity releasing, the karmic stuff releasing from us, will put a strain on the liver, see? And if you're drinking a lot of alcohol, it's putting even more strain on the liver. So you just got to be a bit mindful of what you can do to support your physical body through this time. And it's not that you're always necessarily going to have to do that. It's just where things are at right now. Okay? So let's do some more energy work. Welcome. Okay. This is also about release. Release of the old to bring in the new.
Shlaka sarabalaka sarabalaka satya. Akalabalaka sepidi sarabalakulu. Atabalaka kasa dada. Atabalaka kasa dada. Alabalaka kasa dada. Alabalaka soda soda seta sata badakada. Alabalaka kasa dada. Alabalaka kasa dada. Sarabalaka sabalaka. Akoka C. So now I'm working with this pyramid again to do with transformation. Mukaliki la sabaloko di salabalaka. Ola kazi de sabada sabalo da bada da kodi. Ela kazi de kazabada kazabada kazi di. Akala bada kazabada kazabada kazakala sasa. Akala bada kazabada kasasa. Alabada kazabada ki. Akata kazata 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 ki. Akala kazata kazata ki. Akala kazata kazata ki. Marasa kolia. Akala kasa koya, akasa kasa da kiesi, akala kasa da kasaba da kadaba ki, akaka kadaba da kadaba da kasa da ki, akala da kadaba da kasa di se da da, amaloko si di sabada baba da kadaba da ki, aka. This energy is opening all of us up into a more expanded potential, which, as Spirit have already said, will begin to show itself within the next 3 weeks. It may be that you just start to do things you've never done before. If you're a healer or you work as a channel or you work with people, then you start to do things that you haven't done, just automatically. It may be that you receive information or knowledge and write it down. It may be that beings from other dimensions come and show themselves to you. And you maybe see them visibly if you are clairvoyant in that way. But whatever it is, there is an opening coming for everybody, because in the next 6 months, it's preparation for January 2020, when there's a whole new wave of energy coming through to the planet. Very powerful time. Also in my online library, ascensionlibrary.org, 21 energy keys. It's in the gateway section of the library. 21 energy keys for ascension in 2019, which actually means that these 21 short audio tracks help and support us during this year. I think there'll be another 21 keys for 2020 and beyond, possibly. But this is the energy that we all need right now to move through this time, physically, emotionally, mentally, and on all levels with ease and grace, and so that we feel happy and well, really, because that's what it's all about. If you're not feeling happy and well, then changes need to be made. We don't feel happy and well, then something's off within us. And maybe we're not on the path. Maybe we've sort of strayed off the path a little bit. And maybe we need to just sit quietly in meditation and ask for support. How do I get back on my path? What is it that I'm meant to do here? Please help me, please guide me. You know, I think sometimes when we feel absolutely terrible, the darkest hour just before the dawn, that's when it gets the worst. And we can really feel almost like, I don't want to be on the planet anymore. Some of you might have felt this. What I've always experienced myself is that when I've felt a little bit like that, and I have, it's been a major deepening of the work afterwards. And I've been able to do things more easily and effectively afterwards. It seems like at those times of absolute despair, and I've had those times too, there is a big welling up of energy that needs to be released. And then the road sort of feels a bit smoother again. Because we're all walking this yellow brick road to the Emerald City. You know, the Emerald City is the love, really, the heart. We're all walking this yellow brick road to the Emerald City. We can all get there. Okay? So this energy is about walking the yellow brick road to the Emerald City so that we might get there.
Shlaki sazamalra sarkaya, akala sidi sadabadakosia, akokala kasida zabadakasakuya, akala bada sadabadaka, akala kasidaki, akala kasidaki, madasakuya, el valaso de stadna balakisidi sadabalakoya, akazid, kazidaki, akala badakasadabadakasa. Akala kazida ki. Akala badakazabadakazabadakazabadakazabadakisia. Akala badakazadakoya. Akala badaki sa.
I was particularly delighted today to read a WhatsApp message from one of the ladies who came with me to Bosnia last week. She'd had a particularly difficult time since she'd got back to the United States. Really difficult. And was in a real state of uncertainty and despair, and nothing's really happening, and I feel worse, and I don't know what to do, and she was really going through a really tough time. I identify with that, because I've also had my times, really tough times. And as I said to you before, it's always preceded a new stage of light and upliftment. And so I was really thrilled to get a letter from her today on the WhatsApp saying, in the last 3 days, everything in my life has turned around. Everything's changed. It's been so hard for so long, and now it's different. And it's like when our energy changes, and we don't often have to do anything. You see, the energy does it for us. But when our energy changes, so do we. Because what is vibrating in our energy field will reflect completely into how we think and feel about ourselves and about life, and how other people relate to us and perceive us, and what we can actually attract into our reality, into our human day-to-day life. Because if we are clearing a lot of stuck energy, or if we're going through a particularly difficult period and we're anxious about it, then we've got all these vibratory thoughts going da-da-da-da-da. Thoughts are creation, you see. Whatever we're thinking and feeling and expressing and speaking about is what will come into being. It's not going to happen instantly, so don't worry. You know, if we have an off day and we say, oh, bother, in stronger words than that, we're not necessarily ruining the next 6 months or the next year or the years of our life. We're human. But it's a habitual self-talk that we have that's important. So what I say and what I do myself is this. Just shut your eyes.
think of something that you wish to create tomorrow. And I just use these words. I say, with the power of God that I am, and just speak those words to yourself. Speak them really firmly, as if you really believe them, because that's really important. With the power of God that I am, and you know that you are a creator, that you can create. You are the creator we all are, of our own reality. And the stronger we speak the words with energy, the stronger the outcome. Because it's like firing water out of a water pistol. If you don't have the strong, focused intention of what we want to create, the energy doesn't go anywhere, you see. But when you've got real strength behind the trigger, which is the power of speech, the power of intention, then the outcome is much more powerful, you see, the manifestation of that intention. So just say again, with the power of God to yourself, with the power of God that I am, we are, I am that I am. So we're actually linking here with our I am presence. With the power of God that I am, whatever. And just know it to be true. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. And I have this little mantra that I add on to the end, which is what Esayenia was taught when I wrote the book Sunshine Before the Dawn. Esayenia was this Syrian genetic specialist who was part of the creation of the human. And she was taught this creation code, which is on the library, in the library, and it goes like this. So just say these words to yourself. My Asmia, Yanonia, Yasinte. My Asmia, Yanonia, Yasinte. My Asmia, Yanonia, Yasinte. So I've just said it, we've just said it 3 times, but I usually say it 9 times. When I really want to create something, I say it 9 times. But remember that if there is a soul plan or a divine plan, and I'm talking about a soul plan really, that experience needs to be different, then that will always take precedence, you see. So it doesn't always work out the way we want. But remember, if it doesn't work out the way we want, we usually get something better than what we think we want. Because it's not about what our head says we want, it's about what is the perfect plan for us, you see. So we learn little things along the way, but the important thing is to really trust the heart's voice, and to step out in faith and not be scared. Because the worst that can happen is that it doesn't work, or the worst that can happen really is that you fail. There's nothing terribly wrong with that, because if you didn't fail, you wouldn't succeed in actually doing anything, because every success comes with a little bit of failure. We're demonstrating some of that. Every success comes with a little bit of failure. And if we don't fail at something or have it go a little bit haywire, we don't ever learn how to do it differently, you see. So I think it's very important in life to understand that and to maintain equilibrium, balance, love, peace in the heart at the same time. Mattia. You are loved, you are blessed, and so it is.